Well, here's the problem as I see it. This is the indicator and spotlight and running light on my F-150. I was being too smart for my own good, and I closed up the mirrors when I was parking at the store, and I came out. Somebody had smashed into this, and I don't know what in the world, how they managed to hit it and bust this lens. But you see it's got a problem. Anyway, that's the problem. Here's the solution. $135 for a light. Isn't that nice? Really pretty. Must have gold in it or something. I don't know. It's a really pretty light. Now this is a unique light. It has not just a turn signal but the clearance light. It also has a spotlight that you can use. And you can kind of aim it at things alongside the vehicle. It's kind of handy. I've used it a couple times at night, unloading things. Anyway, I got to take this silly mirror apart and figure out how to fix it. Now, the first thing I have to do is figure out how to get this mirror out without causing. The Ford dealer offered to do this for me for a small fee of about $175 plus the part. That kind of stuff drives me crazy. I know that they got to pay for their bills and all that, but my God. Anyway, all I got to get in there is get those little lock tabs, and the mirror will pop off. There's one. There's two. Hot damn, we're on a roll. Now, the dealer will just be happy as a clam if I end up breaking this mirror, so they can sell me a $400 or $500 one. Of course, the mirrors have lights in them and they're heated, so that makes it even more fun to get it apart. Hot damn, that's two clips. Just for all you guys that may be interested, this is a 2015 Ford F-150 Lariat with all the bells and whistles. And this is what you get for $55,000. You get all these little wires. Okay, this is a heated mirror. It's got the lane warning light in it. And it's got whatever else this is. I don't know if that's it. Oh, it's got a thermostat in there to measure temperature. How about that? Anyway, it's got buku little stuff in here, and I've got to replace that indicator. Now these come off real simple, like it's just a little tricky. You got to get in there and manipulate these little tabs. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little push tabs that have a little hook on them, and they go over this actuator up here where the motor is. It moves it around and positions it the way you want. Getting it off is the most nerve-wracking part, because you break those tabs, you're SOL. Because I can tell you that if that little turn signal cost me over $100, I think it was $130, $135, I don't remember, this whole panel probably isn't even available. Well, it might be, but it isn't even going to be cheap either. I mean, like I said, it's a beautiful truck, but all these bells and whistles, I tend to keep my vehicles and drive the wheels off of them. So keeping a vehicle for 20 years is not an unusual thing for us. And with all the doodads and bells and whistles on this thing, I'm just kind of a little nervous about which is going to break first. That does make me nervous. I can tell you right now, I see a little corrosion right there on that. Looks like a silver solder joint. That's for the heated mirror. The top one is okay, but that one evidently has got some water on it. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Maybe I'll clean that up and put some gook on it to try to prevent it from getting worse. Anyway, I got to get some small hex sockets to pull that inside cover off. I get this inner bezel, and I'm hoping, which I doubt. Oh yeah, I don't know if there's anything on this bottom one. I bet you there is, just because they can. There's probably bolts down there. And also this curved mirror down here is also heated. And I'll lay you odds. Oh yeah, there's bolts in there. So I gotta get that curved mirror off too. I'm just having so much fun today. First thing, we're going to disconnect these wires and get that out of the way so I don't break it. You know, sometimes, you know, they design this stuff for manufacture, which means they didn't design it for service. There it is. Isn't that a pretty thing? And I did it without breaking. So there's your proximity warning for if there's a vehicle in the lane next to you. Really nice stuff, but man, oh man. It's gonna make me cry one day. Now you get to watch me struggle with this, the bottom here. It has basically the same mounting tabs. Yes, there we go. All right, same basic thing. We have a little pivot point that allows us to adjust the mirror, and we have our heater circuit. See, no damage. And we have 2 sets or 4 sets of 2, and then 2 main tabs that lock it in. They did not want that coming off, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that very well. Hoping. Now what we got here is we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks like all there is. Those look like about an 8mm. Well, it's not 8mm, it's 7. I don't have a 7mm nut driver, so we're improvising. When do I have a 7mm nut driver, I ask? I have no idea. I'm sure I need one. How much you want to bet it doesn't come apart that easy? There's got to be something else holding it. Oh yeah. It looks like it's just got some spring tabs. Oh, I see. Yep. There it is. See. Right here is a little tab you got to pull down. Can you see that? This little guy right there. There's one there. There's one there. I don't see anything else, so. Oh, that's the courtesy light holding that on. Oh, look at there. You get it just right and everything just falls apart. As I said, this thing has got all kinds of bells and whistles. It's got a courtesy light. So when you, oh, it's also got a dead bee in there. Once you pull it up, you got to push it in and then it pops right out. So that's the beastie. The lock is in. You got to pull it back and then push it in. And that's how you get it out. All right, well, here we go. Brand new Ford part. There it is, push, clip, lock. Now, let's see if we can find the rest of the pieces that are inside that housing and get it out of there. Yeah, that was it. All right, so there's the housing. See, it's pretty simple. Nothing complicated. And there's a clip right there that I was about to break off, trying to get this thing apart. And there's a chrome. It just all clips together nice and neat. Nothing too complicated. All right. Now, this guy's got to go back up in here and just forward. Yeah, there we go. That fits in nice now. So this little guy right here and here, we have 2 screws that go through there. They're mounting screws. They just set right in that edge, this foam gasket. Can we see that? Yep. That little foam gasket just slides in that little pocket. And then your screw holes all line up nice and neat and pretty like. So you watch. I'm going to try not to drop this. It doesn't, you know, they probably put this thing together on a bench just like that. So we're going to take a little liberty here and use one of my favorite tools. Aluminum foil tape. Use it for ducks and things, but I'll tell you, this is the bee's knees when it comes to something that will stay and hold up and not deteriorate. This stuff works great. We're going to get our light situated. The wires kind of put where they want to be. And I'm going to put a little piece over here just long enough to hold this guy in place. All right, see, it's not going to interfere with anything. It's outside the gasket area. But you see that? Just hold that light right there, pretty as can be, in place. Let's see if it works. That's always a good check. Now, I don't have my heaters or my turn indicators hooked up or anything. I just got the spotlight hooked up. And I'm half frightened that if I turn on this silly vehicle, it's going to indicate that I got a mirror problem. But do we got light? Yep, we got light. Let's see if we got spot. See if we got the spotlight. This is the left spot. Oh, look at there. See, look. That's just slick, huh? Those are actually quite bright at night. Well, don't you love it when the sound of plastic goes crack? You know it's right. Something's not clear. I'm not getting something clear. What's going in there? Ah! I don't know what it is. But the sound of plastic cracking is always a good sign when you're working on a vehicle. Fortunately, this guy is only about a year old, which means the brittle bits aren't brittle yet. One day something's going to break that I can't fix or don't want to fix, and I'm going to take it into the dealer and then go down to the bank to get a mortgage on my house, pay for the repairs on my truck. There we go. We'll be good. You see what I'm doing? I hope so. That one, we got this little guy here. That's right. And then we have, all right, everything's nice and snug. Now, there's something you need to know, these plastic ears here, you got to make sure that when you put them in there, you get those ears on the inside. All right. We're going to call that a success. Yep, there's our lane avoidance light. That works. Everything lights up. Everything does what it's supposed to. I am happy. And more importantly, I saved a bunch of money. And I know how to do this, and now I can put together a video. I think it's going to be my really first video on YouTube. I'm hoping somebody will be able to fix their own mirror. That'd be a really nice thing, to share that knowledge. Okay, so that's it. Now, if you ask me if I like this truck, I love this truck. It's a beautiful truck. The misgivings, of course, is I'll keep this thing for 20 years. So yeah, I keep my vehicles. So I love working on these things, mostly. Mostly I like to re-engineer them so they're fixable. So that being said, the mirror's repaired. I'm happy. I just need to do a little maintenance on the vehicle, cleaning, and it's good to go. So I do. Are you videotaping still? We're good? No, don't put your fingers in front of it, honey. All right, hit stop. All right, hit stop.